The body is a beautiful hack to presence. A lot of us grew up putting all of our attention or feeling safe in our heads, self included, but we lose tons of information in doing so about our emotional process and about the wisdom of the body. My name is Tara AOA. I am co-founder of AOA, and my primary focus at AOA is teaching. I love teaching and working with training students, working deeper in the theories of AOA and training students to be coaches. Somatic awareness, which really just means how does your body feel, and developing a relationship with the body and becoming aware of how your body feels at any point is a key to presence. It's a key to more wholeness with yourself. It's a key to better listening and to being aware of and following the wisdom of the emotions. I was raised as a thinker and straight A student and little brainiac, and had no relationship with my body. In fact, I'd say I closed my body off. And in my 20s, I started pursuing careers that I couldn't do without developing a different relationship with my body. And I was forced to, I think, because I wanted to start to feel emotions. I was really out of touch with my emotions. And so I very slowly started becoming aware of, and I started with Vipassana meditation, of like, oh, I have feet, and right now they're tingling. Oh, I have my gut. And the more I spent time with different parts of my body, the more access I had to my grief and my anger and my fear, all of which I'd totally cut off before. And as that progressed, first, I just had access to simple feelings and some old feelings that started surfacing. And then the more I started listening to, later in life, the gut, the more I realized, oh, there's this gut impulse that has a lot of wisdom that my linear brain can't tell you exactly what it is. But if I listen to that gut and I spend some time with it, it's saying, something's not right here. And if I just slow down and hang out with something's not right here, I get a sense for a different way I want to be in the world, or a different way I want to be with other people, or certain situations aren't right, I don't want to be there, or, oh, this is all wrong, I want to get out of here now. I started developing more and more intuition as well, only through deeply listening to the body. So how to build body awareness? I'd say start simply, just bringing attention to your hand. And you can kind of even close your hand and open your hand. What's the sensations on the hand? Maybe you close your hand and you even feel your fingers on your palm. Like, oh, that's somatic awareness, just listening to the sensory information of the fingers rubbing the palm. And you can even rub the fingers together and feel, if you're really like listening, putting your ears in your hand, can you feel warmth or coolness? What's the texture? What's the temperature? Is your skin soft or coarse? I was gardening and my hands are kind of coarse. So on the simplest level, it's just developing the skill of sensing through the skin first. Even you can take it and like rub your hands on your legs and just let the hand feel the texture of your pants. And from there, we can take it even more internally to like our gut. Like, what do we sense right now in the gut? And it's dropping awareness down to the gut. So dropping the thinking mind, you can think of it as taking like an elevator ride all the way down to around your belly button. And then using awareness to look around so you can be looking visually how the gut feels, but also sensing, how does the gut feel? And you can use your breath here, even like bringing breath to it, and you might sense your belly expanding slightly. And it goes slow. And you might feel like I feel a little like gurgle, subtle gurgle in my belly. Like, oh, digestive activity. It can be just that simple. And for some people, the gut is easiest. For some people, the heart. You can bring your attention to the chest. And again, the chest is an easy area to feel the breath moving through. And this is the center of our heart, the center of emotions. So sometimes just by bringing that awareness down, we start to sense ache. Literally, if someone's had a heartache or a heartbreak current or in the past, they might start feeling tension or crinkles around the front of the heart, and just hanging out with that and sensing that. Like, oh, my heart actually feels kind of soft and a little sleepy. And I feel a little warmth around it. Right now, in 2 hours, it might feel different. That would be like next step. And then third step, for me at least, is thinking about like, oh, I said XYZ to so-and-so, and that was a really hard conversation. And I can notice like, oh, my body wants to close up as I think about that hard conversation. Like, oh, that was hard. And even there's like a way my body's protecting from the hard conversation. I can notice, oh, my shoulders are kind of closing in, maybe even protecting my heart. And it's like, oh, that was hard. And then I can respond to the body like, oh, that was a really hard conversation. I can let the body take that shape a little and just hang out with it and breathe with it. And as I do that, as I let the body have that shape of responding to the hard conversation, then it actually starts to soften a little with my attention. And my breath can get a little deeper, and I notice my shoulders get a little softer. And whatever I was still holding on to around that conversation, with my awareness and my breath, the body can start to sequence and move in a way it needs to. Like I just notice my shoulders dropping, they're rolling back a little. Everything's softening, my heart's coming on. And I can notice a tenderness for myself having that hard conversation. That was hard. And I can notice compassion and tenderness for the other person from this place too. And then I notice, oh yeah, and my nervous system drops down. And whatever that was feels done in my body now. Whatever I was still lingering, holding on to around a hard conversation, had a few seconds to a sequence to finish. So I wasn't holding it all day. The body has this deep wisdom, and it can also point us towards where we want to go. And I used to just work one-on-one with clients, and I started working more with groups, and I could feel this like, wanting to move through my system. It was like, And I didn't know I wanted to work with groups yet, but as I listened to this, and I remember one day just being like, and it was like my hands wanted to move out, and I wanted to be bigger. My body wanted to be bigger, and I just started playing with it and like, what is that? And I was like, I want to hold bigger groups. It actually was through the body and that somatic awareness, that felt sense that it really hit me that there was something bigger, a bigger thing I wanted to hold than working one-on-one. So we can, the body can guide us and actually point us towards something we want that we don't even logically, intellectually know we want yet. Learning body awareness is like learning any new skill. It's like going to the gym, go once, do a few reps, take a break. Sometimes what people do is they come in and do it all day long. I encourage you to try it. Usually in the beginning, people get really bored because we're so used to being entertained by thoughts, or we come down and the mind immediately lifts us up. So really the first muscle to build is like, okay, thank you, mind. I usually give you all my attention. Right now, I'm going to put my attention on my core or my body and my gut. And so just building that muscle of, a head just took me to a drifting thought. I'm going to come back and what is happening there? And sitting with it for short bites. Make it easy. Make it pleasurable. How can it be enjoyable to take 5 minutes of your time and come down and hang out in the gut or in the feet or in the shoulders. So I'd say take your time, have a lot of patience with yourself, and how do you make it exciting? It's like, oh, I'm going to go to Italy in my gut. Like, how is it exciting to be an internal explorer? How do you inspire yourself to do it? It's not another thing I have to do because that's what AOA says. How do you make it juicy? And I'd take little baby bites. Go down, check it out. Sometimes emotions will come up, have a cry, move your fear, self-soothe, work the nervous system. Another baby bite the next day. First one is someone will say, when I do it, I don't feel anything. And then they'll start to beat themselves up or think that's a problem. And I would say, if you don't feel anything, that's awesome. What's it like not to feel anything? And actually bring the attention to nothing and to the absence of feeling and explore that. If you think you don't feel anything, you're getting data somewhere that tells you don't feel anything. And so you can I like thinking of it as exploring the raw data. So instead of letting the mind tell you I don't feel anything, go and explore what's the data, what are the data points that tell you I don't feel anything. So you might bring your gut down, like, I don't feel anything in my gut. And like, oh, how do I know I don't feel anything? Because it's quiet, feels like a void. I don't sense anything. Everything just goes quiet. Well, that's somatic information. So that's awesome. So that's one point where I see people get stuck. Another point is people will go down and instantly get flooded by the nervous system, like, oh, I just hit anxiety. And if that happens, that also happens. That's awesome, not to be worried about. But take care of your nervous system. You can Google nervous system exercises or simply bring attention to breath and give yourself a few calming breaths. And, oh, of course this is enervating. I've never done this before, or it wasn't safe to do this at some point. And so just being a really gentle process around how it doesn't feel safe and the nervous system got enervated, and nurture the nervous system and go slowly. And another place where I see people have issues are they go down and then they get flooded by an emotion. They go to the heart and then grief comes up. And if you're sitting on a lot of grief, this was my experience when I started doing this. It was at a Vipassana meditation, and I started doing this, just exploring the body through awareness, and all I could do was cry. I cried for 10 days nonstop. So you might be sitting on a lot of grief, and give yourself time and space to feel the grief. What I would also encourage is for every 10 minutes of being with grief or a hurt heart or a broken heart, give yourself 10 minutes of yummy self-care. So you're not just diving down in grief, it's balanced one-to-one with self-care. And if you put attention into the body and you don't like what you feel, that's why we have a head. So, that is why so many of us, I think, spend so much time in our thoughts, because the body doesn't feel good. And that's okay. You don't have to like it. You can come down, I don't like what I feel. I'm going to come up to my head. Awesome. I'd say congratulate yourself for trying it, sensing something didn't feel good, and seeing that you could step away from it. And if that's all you ever want to do, great. You get to use your wisdom here. If you sense that I don't like it has more to do, then you can start, what is it I don't like? I'm going to take a little baby bite. And I encourage people, if there's something you don't like, what is it? Because even if we don't go and listen to it, the body's holding on to it. So our shoulders then, if there's some anger that we don't like or want to feel, our shoulders are holding on to it. So it's there whether we put our attention on it or not. And at that point, you're at choice. Do you want to go and feel it or not? You really get to listen to yourself here. You are the wisdom holder of your body. If you're thinking, I don't want to go back to that, it just might not be the right time. Take a break. Go back 6 months later, 2 years later. Never. Some people literally will live with it in their shoulders their whole life and never have to feel it. And I think that's okay. I think we know when we're ready to process it and to feel it. I trust each person's wisdom. If you find that you're interested in this, we have an audio entitled Emotional Inquiry, or EI, and it's a guided audio, like a guided visualization. It will walk you through the steps of this So you have a recording to handhold as you explore this more. You can find that on our website. Oftentimes, when we first start to develop a relationship with the body, it can be uncomfortable. On the other side of being with those feelings in the body is peace and joy and bliss and wisdom and insight and intuition. So if you can stick with the discomfort in the body, there is an amazing wealth of, it's like a gold mine of information that you're walking around with. And I can vouch for the bliss that is in a body, absolute bliss in just the simplicity of our breath can become incredibly pleasurable, or just sensing our toes. So there's joy and bliss on the other side of it.